All right, today we're going to unpack a really big move by OpenAI. And this one signals a major shift in their strategy. It's all about moving from just brilliant research to, product perfection. And a recent acquisition tells us pretty much everything we need to know about where they're headed.
And that really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? This is the core challenge every single AI company is grappling with right now. How do you take these incredibly powerful models that can do jaw-dropping things and turn them into a smooth, safe, polished app that, you can actually count on every single day?
Okay, so how is OpenAI planning to tackle this huge challenge? Well, they just dropped a massive clue, and it all boils down to one very strategic move.
So here's the big news. On September 3rd, OpenAI announced it was buying a startup called Statsig. Now, on the surface, that sounds pretty straightforward, right? But believe me, there's so much more to it.
Yeah, because buying the company, that's really only half the story. The other piece of the puzzle, and you could argue it's even more important, is this. They didn't just buy the technology. They brought in the top talent, putting Statsig's founder, a guy named Vijay Raji, into this powerful new role as the CTO of Applications.
So, who are these guys? Who is Statsig and who is Vijay Raji? To really get why this is such a big deal, we gotta understand the company and the leader they just brought into the fold. Okay, before we dive into the nitty-gritty of the company, let's just quickly break down what they actually do. Product testing might sound a little dry, but think of it this way. It's like a restaurant testing a new pasta dish on a few tables to see if people love it before they roll it out on the permanent menu. It's all about using real data, not just guesswork, to figure out what works. And this is the toolkit Statsig brings to the table. We're talking about things like A/B testing, where you show one group of users version A and another group version B to see which one performs better. Or something called feature flagging, which is super cool. It lets you turn new features on or off for just a small slice of your users without having to do a whole big scary product launch. For a company like OpenAI that's dealing with these super powerful, sometimes unpredictable models, this kind of control, it's absolutely everything. And the brain behind all of this is Vijay Raji. His resume, well, it's pretty key to this whole story. He's not just the founder of Statsig. Before that, he spent a whole decade at Meta leading consumer engineering. This is a guy who knows how to build products for literally billions of people. And now, at OpenAI, he's going to be the one overseeing the engineering for their crown jewels, ChatGPT and Codex.
Okay, so let's connect the dots here. How does all this fit into OpenAI's master plan? When you really look at it, this move isn't just a smart idea. It feels almost inevitable.
It really all boils down to a pretty simple equation. On one side, you've got OpenAI's monster strengths, right? Cutting-edge research, a massive user base. But they also have some pretty clear needs. They have to build tools that are not just powerful, but safe and easy to use, and they need to do it at a massive scale. And that's exactly where Statsig slots in. They bring the hardcore product experimentation platform and, crucially, the proven leadership that perfectly fills those gaps. It's like finding the exact puzzle piece you were missing. And you don't have to take my word for it. OpenAI's own leadership is basically shouting this from the rooftops. Vijay, their CEO of apps, she pointed right to Raji's record of building products at scale and said his leadership is going to help turn all that incredible research progress into safe applications. Notice that word she used, safe. This isn't just about shipping cool new features. It's about building reliability and trust with millions of users. And from his perspective, Vijay Raji's own statement just clicks right into place. He specifically talks about bringing his experience in scaling consumer and enterprise products and plugging that directly into OpenAI's mission. You can tell this isn't just another job for him. He says it's a mission he deeply believes in. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. What does all of this actually mean for us? The people who are using things like ChatGPT every single day. How is this deal actually going to change our experience with the product?
All right, so here's the immediate breakdown of what's happening. The entire Statsig team, they're coming over to OpenAI, but to make sure nothing breaks for their current customers, Statsig will keep operating as its own thing for now. The real action, though, is happening behind the scenes. OpenAI is going to start using Statsig's tools way more for their own stuff, with Raji Howe in the driver's seat for all things engineering on ChatGPT and Codex.
And all of that brings us right back to our big, central question. See, this move isn't just about buying a company. It's about buying a whole new philosophy, a culture of data-driven, methodical product development. It's the clearest signal yet that OpenAI is going all in on transforming its revolutionary AI from a mind-blowing experiment into a flawless, dependable product. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Is this the moment? Is this when AI finally stops feeling like a wild science project and starts feeling like a perfect tool?